invasion of privacy. Yale grad loses right to heiress ex-wife's significant tobacco fortune after bugging her iPhone with $50 spyware and listening to her calls up to 59 times a day. A Brooklyn father, who graduated from Yale and was once a Fullbright scholar, won't see a cent of his ex-wife's $50 million tobacco fortune after he tapped her phone with cheap software. Crocker Coulson, 53, bugged ex-wife's 53-year-old Anne Resnik phone with $50 software so that he could record private meetings she had with a therapist and her lawyer so that he could get the upper hand in their divorce proceedings. Brooklyn Supreme Court Justice Jeffrey Sunshine asserted that the man forfeited any claim to Resnik's fortune in a drastic ruling because of the man's unprecedented, contumacious conduct. The readily available and sophisticated spyware available in this internet age to a spouse intent on wielding power over another spouse presents a new tool of control, explained the judge in a 49-page decision, according to the New York Post. The court finds that these victims must be protected by the imposition of the strictest penalties possible. The daughter of Frank Resnik, CEO of Philip Morris, Anne Resnik married Coulson in 2008 and the pair have 8-year-old twins. Coulson receives zero alimony and gets none of the couple's assets following the decision from the judge. He can still seek child support once the decision of custody is handled. And while celebrity lawyer Raoul Felder would not disclose how much Resnik was worth, he did mention that her net worth was significant. The court is mindful that Coulson probably never contemplated that his initial investment of approximately $50 of spyware would start him on this path or have such dire consequences for his financial future, the judge stated. However, his conduct in this litigation both shocks the consciousness of the court and offends all semblance of judicial integrity. While sorting through Coulson's PayPal account in 2015, Felder stumbled upon a $50 charge for own spy software. According to the ruling, the app's audio spy feature essentially allowed Coulson to use his wife's iPhone as a remote microphone so he could listen into whatever conversations were taking place in the vicinity of her iPhone. The investment consultant would listen into his wife's iPhone between 6 and 59 times a day in 2014, able to unlawfully gain information about his wife's litigation strategy. Coulson was also privy to private conversations between Resnik and her therapist and friends. He was able to get access to almost every aspect of his wife's life, contacts, GPS location and more. Citing these details, Felder claimed that Coulson's digging not only put his thumb on the scales of justice, he pressed down with his entire hand. Sunshine shared the sentiment, adding that the man attempted to hack this litigation and to control it using knowledge gained by listening in on his wife's attorney-client privileged consultations and by reading her privileged communications. He added that Coulson repeatedly and purposefully violated his wife's attorney-client privilege in the most intrusive way. Coulson was able to destroy evidence when he was made aware of his wife's request that was approved for a sheriff to seize the software. The unrepentant man also invoked his Fifth Amendment right and laughed approximately 58 times, the ruling states. We're gratified by the result but there's a frightening future ahead if this is what can be accomplished with $50, Felder said. The father of two also faces jail time for destroying the evidence. Nathaniel Marmer, his recently attainted lawyer, claimed, the court's finding that he invaded his wife's attorney-client privilege is flatly contradicted by the well-supported conclusion of both parties' experts, and we are confident that the appellate court will correct this mischaracterization of the facts.